Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and it's been a while since we did one of these, but we are here to answer the question that knifed you in the back in a dark alleyway: is it worth it? Today we're going to be taking a look at Antihero, a turn-based strategy game by Tim Conkling and published by Versus Evil. Now, the game is, for all intents and purposes, a digital board game that has the player cast as the role of a thief in a Victorian city, robbing houses, recruiting street urchins, and making use of thugs, gangs, assassins, and all sorts of different minions. You try to oust your rivals by any and all means necessary. Now, through the course of the game's different levels and maps, you make use of a variety of resources to further your goals. You can infiltrate different buildings in order to gain access to specialty unit types like the gang or the thug. You also obtain resources like money, which you use to purchase additional units, and lamps, not to mention decreased unit costs. Now, in addition to those, the game also has a leveling system where you spend those lamps in order to unlock additional abilities, such as taking additional actions each turn with your thief, being able to attack units with him or her, and also unlocking specialty units like the assassin and the truant officer. Now, the game's feature set I found to be quite well-rounded and reasonably well thought out. Everything within the game makes sense, and it's extremely easy to pick up. Now, the game does have a single-player campaign with voiceover narration, and the voice acting within the game was quite well done, if a bit sporadic. You could tell that the single-player campaign was not the primary focus for the developers, and I feel that it actually suffered a bit because of that. Sporting about 4 to 7 hours of single-player content within the campaign, that side of the game doesn't offer too good a value for your dollar, if you're interested in playing the multiplayer at least. And the multiplayer is, of course, where the actual value of the game comes in. It does have combat versus AI and hot seat multiplayer for offline combat with your friends. The game, in addition to that, also has online multiplayer with two different primary functions. First is your standard traditional live multiplayer, which is for those that are able to just sit down and play through a whole match. But one other feature, and I'm glad to see this made use of more and more in turn-based games, is the asynchronous play mode. Now, what this does is it allows two people to play the game at their convenience, logging on and going through their churn, and once finished, the game shoots an email over to their opponent, letting them know that it's now their turn. This is great for long drawn-out matches or people with not a lot of time to spend, or even for people that really want to turn the game into more of a chess match, spending large amounts of time pondering their next moves. And as someone that used to play a lot of chess, I can definitely appreciate this mode. It's far more calculated and deliberate than normal gameplay where you have someone breathing down your neck. And I know that this mode is most definitely not going to be for everyone, but it's straight up my alley and a most welcome inclusion. Now, overall, the gameplay is smooth and satisfying with no notable frame rate drops or glitches that I'd found. And I know that we should really expect that with every game. It's unfortunately still rare enough, though, that it bears mentioning. It's also worth noting that the game's AI was a bit easier than I had expected it to be. Normally, because I'm so eye-bleedingly bad with games that I've just picked up, I have to put it on easy mode to get footage for you guys until I get the hang of the game's mechanics. Usually that doesn't stop me from jumping right in on normal or hard mode in most situations, and typically I'll muddle through until I get good. However, this game's normal difficulty felt a bit too much like easy mode, and so I found myself setting it to hard, and even then it was only a challenge when I didn't stop to consider my actions. Now, the graphics focuses around a sort of thin cardboard cutout style with hand-drawn art that I really enjoy for these sort of games. It makes it feel a lot more like a board game than a digital board game. The animations are well done for the type of game that it is, and I really had nothing to complain about on that score. Now, one thing that I do have to say that is a very strong negative for this game is the aspect of replayability, at least for those that are looking for the single-player experience. Now, I feel that what we were given on that score was below average when compared to the rest of the game. A more robust campaign would not have been hard to do, I think, and if they had done that, then this game would have been an absolute must-own, no questions asked. However, the true value is only there if you are interested in the multiplayer, which if you are, then you should own this game already. However, if you're just looking for a single-player experience, I would wait until the game went on sale or there was a decrease in the price tag. But that is, of course, entirely up to you to decide. As with most games, I spent my own money on this, and even though I'm not super interested in the multiplayer, I don't regret my purchase in the least. So this has been a very quick first impressions look at Antihero, and I quite enjoy it. But as always, please do let me know what you think down in the comments below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'll see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and it has reached the point where so many people have actually requested SidAlpha t-shirts, I have decided to oblige. For an indeterminate period of time, you can get your own SidAlpha t-shirt, sweater, or hoodie over at teespring.com/SidAlpha. Link is in the description below. Nothing says taking pride in something more than advertising it to the world and wearing it on your body, so get your very own SidAlpha OG logo shirt now.